Hey guys, just doing another video on Downey's Games Ultra Quick Wrestling. I'm just setting up my federation. So one of the card sets that I got was the 1986 card set, which includes cards from wrestlers from the NWA and WWF. I thought it was kind of interesting to have. It's an interesting period in wrestling. And I always like going back on the WWE network and looking back at the old NWA. So just show you some of the cards that come in. So I'm going to split this up into a couple of videos. So just concentrating on the NWA cards. So when you get if you do get this card set, the ones that are highlighted in red are for WWE or WWF, and the cards are in blue or NWA. So basically, right here we have Lex Luger. Interesting. I think Luger didn't really join NWA until like 1987, and he started as a heel. But in this card, I mean, you could look at his cheating as 0. So for my league, I'm making him kind of like a top babyface. Of course, you're gonna have Ric Flair. Here's Ric Flair's card. Of course, I'm definitely a top heel. You got pretty much the whole Horsemen. So going back, one of the cool things about this game is kind of like reimagining, NWA of 1986. You got Tully Blanchard. Got some managers cards, but I'll show those later. Black Bart. Don't really remember much of him, but he could be kind of one of those like low mid card heels. Ivan Koloff. And then you also have Crusher Khrushchev, which was Barry Darso, I believe, and he would become Smash from Demolition and Repo Man. So they were kind of like a tag team, so they'll be kind of like a heel tag team that you could put against like the Legion of Doom or Road Warriors. And speaking of them, you got Animal, and you have Hawk. So definitely be like kind of like a top tag team in my federation. We got Dick Murdoch. In 1986, definitely like a heel. I could see him, feuding with Dusty Rhodes or something. We have Michael P.S. Hayes. They don't really mark if they're heels or baby faces. I just look at the cheating, and if they have like any points with cheating, I can kind of consider them kind of a heel. I don't remember Michael P.S. Hayes much of 1986 with NWA. I thought he was with World Class, but I just have to go back. Here's Kendall Windham, Barry Windham's brother. Steve Fuller, I'm not too familiar with him. He does have a low rating of 800, so he'll be kind of like an enhancement. So is Mike Jackson. Not too familiar with him. Bobby Jaggers. Even though Bobby Jaggers is kind of like rated high. We have Kevin Sullivan. Right here. What else we got? We got Nikita Koloff. He's gonna be an interesting character, even though his cheating is like 200. So in '86, he kind of he was like a heel, but he becomes a babyface towards the end of '86, and he challenges Ric Flair for the NWA title at Starrcade '86. So interesting how I'm gonna book him. I'm not sure. Maybe start him as a heel. See what happens. We have Sam Houston. If you don't know, he's the brother of Jake the Snake Roberts. We have Jimmy Garvin. We have Chris Champion. If I recall, I think Chris Champion came back to WCW in 1993. I think he was repackaged as Yoshi Kwan. I think that was. We have the Rock and Roll Express, another good tag team for the Federation. Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. And of course, you'll have the Midnight Express, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and we have Stan Lane. We have those guys. We have Wahoo McDaniel. Yeah, some guys, in '86, they were probably much, winding down their careers. We have Arn Anderson. Again, he's a good good heel to have. Then interesting, we have Magnum TA. And the thing with Magnum TA, which I'm curious with my federation, is that he had the car accident that kind of ended his career. I think it was around like October of '86, and they were pretty much building him towards a feud with Ric Flair. And I think that Starrcade '86, the original main event, was going to be Magnum TA against Ric Flair for the NWA World Title. But of course, Magnum TA has the car accident, and you had to change gears. So I was thinking, with my federation, retooling everything, reimagining, what if, you didn't get hurt, and we do have that match. And I think that's one of the things in my federation that I'm going to pretty much do is kind of start building towards Ric Flair and Magnum TA for Starrcade, and it's going to be all these like twists and turns. It's not going to be like a a straight narrow path for Magnum TA. There's going to be different like things that he's going to have to come across. Maybe a match with Tully Blanchard or something, Nikita Koloff or something like that. But eventually get to that match with Ric Flair and see how it pans out. And see if he does win the title. And we have Nelson Royal and Sean Royal. I'm not too familiar with those guys. We have Ravishing Rick Rude. I think a lot of people don't remember that he actually started, early in NWA around this time, and he had a tag team with Manny Fernandez, and they were the World Tag Team Champions for a couple of months, and then he went on to Rick Rude went to WWE for a while, and then came back to WCW. I think his best work was the early '90s with WCW. We have the Barbarian. We have Wade Candy. Not too familiar with that guy. Not too familiar with Commander number 2. Again, these will probably be used as like, I'm not gonna say jobbers, but was like what they call them nowadays, talent enhancement talent, I guess you would say. We got the Warlord. So we do kind of like a Powers of Pain with him and the Barbarian. Local heroes. I guess that we can kind of consider like an enhancement talent. We got Big Bubba Rogers, Rick Thomas, not too familiar with him, Ronnie Garvin, Dirty Dutch Mantel. We had Barry Windham. In '86, Barry Windham was pretty much started as a babyface, and he didn't really join the Horsemen until '88. But for my version of Federation, you're gonna definitely have him as a heel and be part of the Four Horsemen. And lastly, we have, of course, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So that's what you get, and then also you do get some management cards. So you get Jim Cornette. You have Paul Jones. You have Paul Ellering for the Road Warriors, and of course James J. Dillon for the Four Horsemen. So you get a pretty good set here. More than enough to do kind of like a quick reimagining NWA of 1986. And then another video I'll show you the cards from the WWE side of that '86 set.